Welcome, people. My name is Sa'adiyya Shaikh, and I'm an associate professor in the Department for the Study of Religion. I would like to introduce my colleague, who you can see alongside Dr. Ala Hourani, who's also in our Department for the Study of Religions at UCT. Today, on our open day, we'd like to welcome you. We have a short video, which is just under 10 minutes, which we will play now, which gives you a broader introduction to the study of religion. And then I am very happy and excited to take your questions and engage in any discussion or any further queries you might have about the Department for the Study of Religions. Ala, please can you start the video? Good day. Welcome. My name is Sa'adiyya Shaikh, and I'm an associate professor in the Department for the Study of Religions at the University of Cape Town. It is my pleasure to walk you through this short presentation on the nature of the study of religion in an academic space at our university. So let's begin. Why is it important to study religion? Let me begin by referring you to a study conducted in 2010. This very ambitious study surveyed 230 countries in the world and found that 84% of the world population identified with a specific religious group. Now, in light of these demographics, it becomes impossible to be an aware and informed citizen of the world, of a pluralistic society and a pluralistic world, without an understanding of religion. So what is the approach to the study of religion in our department? Perhaps it's helpful to start by telling you what we don't do. We don't train people to become religious practitioners or religious leaders. This is not a space to train to be an imam or a priest or a rabbi. Rather, in our department, we approach religion in a non-confessional academic manner. We're aware that people bring enormous biases to the study of religion, and we attempt to limit these inherent biases so that we can attempt to study religion as a complex and powerful social phenomenon that intersects with other social and political forces. So if we were to look at our society and a variety of different cultures, we see that religion continues to be a source of inspiration, a source of conflict, a source of meaning-making in a variety of ways. We see poets and politicians and musicians. Perhaps a helpful way to think about religion is to think about religion as meaning-making systems. David Chittister suggests to us that the study of religion encompasses the entire range of what it means to be a human being in relation to the transcendent, the sacred, or the ultimate concerns of human life. And he suggests to us that if we can think about religion critically and carefully, we can learn to think about anything in that manner. And so the questions that we are concerned with is, how does what we assume to be religion shape our experiences and understandings of reality, of existence, of life, of sociality, of how we live with others, of community, and of living and of dying? So religion as a meaning-making system encompasses some of the most fundamental questions of being human and of being alive. Some of the questions that religion helps us to think through and think with is, why is there something when it's possible for there to be nothing in existence? What is the true meaning of life? What does it mean to be a human being? What happens to us after death? How do we explain human suffering and injustices? These are some of the deep, fundamental existential questions that religions in a variety of ways attempt to answer. Moreover, religion also includes a focus on everyday lived, embodied practices. Religion is about particular institutions, communal institutions. It's about particular forms of ritual. It's about the organization of home and domestic life. It impacts particular forms of social order and social orientation. Religions also serve often to legitimate particular kinds of power structures. There are rules of behavior and codes of behavior that religion enable within people's everyday communal lives. In addition to sociality and the exterior life, religion is also deeply about an account of one's internal world. Believers and people of faith have a variety of personal private experiences, which involve, amongst other things, an experience of the sacred, a way to encounter the spirit or the divine or the ultimate source of reality. Often these are described through notions of mysticism, some form of transcendence, of a union with something greater than oneself. And faith communities often have shared and unifying narratives around the interior life, which are very significant within religious traditions. So given the ways in which religion permeates both personal and social realms, it becomes important to understand the role that religion plays in the construction of human subjectivity and the way it weaves through a whole variety and host of other areas of human life, like literature, politics, economics, family, arts, and broader cultural forms. To understand any of those, one needs to be thinking about religion thoughtfully and critically. So taking courses in the study of religion not only gives you a nuanced and sophisticated understanding of society and human beings, it also allows you to think critically, to listen empathically, and hopefully to write clearly. We are located in Africa and give great attention to our location, but we are also sensitive to global interconnections and think about the world as an increasingly globalized space. You will be deeply empowered as a social science and a humanities student through the study of religion to be genuinely thinking about what it means to be a global citizen. The study of religion can be combined with a number of other majors, including African studies, sociology, anthropology, film and media studies, political studies, language and literature, psychology, fine arts, and gender studies. In all of these fields, an understanding of religion deeply enhances and enriches the study of these related disciplines. We would argue that majoring in religion provides an excellent training for careers in law, in teaching, in counseling, in diplomacy, journalism, social services, politics, medicine, and the arts, and even enables people that are becoming religious professionals to think more critically about their location in an interreligious world and in a diverse and pluralistic society. So in a 3-year major that we offer in our department, in the first year, students are introduced to a variety of religious traditions historically and geographically, and we focus on key themes and components in a variety of traditions, and students are offered a comparative perspective to be thinking about Judaism, Christianity, Islam, African traditional religion, Chinese religion, Japanese religion, and other Asian traditions as well. In the second year, we have a religion and society course which adopts a sociology of religion approach. We have a course that focuses on psychology of religion. Then we have a third course that looks at religion, sexuality, and gender in a variety of religious traditions comparatively. And finally, we offer a course of religions in Africa, which includes Christianity, African traditional religion, and Islam. In our final year, or third year, we offer a course in religion and politics, and another one in religion and media. And that provides you with a very solid basis to be thinking about religion, society, and human beings in ways that we think are deeply meaningful and enriching to the study of the social sciences and humanities. I thank you for your patience.
thank you for listening to our video. I would welcome any questions that you might have, which you can pop into the Q&A. And I was actually just recently, I don't see any questions at the moment, but as I was recently just looking at some of the reviews on this, for why to study, the reasons to study religion, John Kerry, the previous US Secretary of State under Barack Obama, actually noted that if he had to go back to college, he would study comparative religion because it is so integrally woven into every aspect of the kinds of political negotiations and understandings of global realities. And so I thought that was an interesting thing that I'd like to just raise in terms of people's understanding of why to study religion. It's not something that's disconnected or just purely private. As many of you know, it has profound political ramifications and is increasingly important politically and socially in the worlds that we are currently inhabiting. So I'd like to leave some space for, please pop your questions to the Q&A. I don't see any at the moment, and I'm assuming that if I don't see anything any further, that people are all good with the kind of stuff that we've presented in the video. We are a diverse department. As noted in the video, we cover a number of religious traditions. People specialize in Islamic studies, Christianity, African traditional religions, Judaism, Buddhism and Hinduism. So you have this very diverse perspective. We take an approach that includes sociology of religion, anthropology of religion, gender studies, political science. And so it is by nature a field that is interdisciplinary and that allows one to think in fairly nuanced and sophisticated ways about the impact of religion culturally, socially, politically, and of course, personally. I think one of the most important things when people come to university, which is an intrinsic part of an educational journey and life journey, is to be grappling with who they are fundamentally. And hopefully many of us continue to grapple with those questions through our lives. But I think the study of religion allows people into those spaces of thinking through what it is that defines who they are, also in very interesting and meaningful ways. So I would like to welcome you to consider religion. I think it's an excellent and a deeply insightful way to be engaging the social sciences and the humanities. And I would dare say that thinking through the humanities without an understanding of religion is deeply bereft. Because religion is such a crucial part of the ways in which culture and society function currently and historically. So I would invite you to be thinking about that as you are, and of course to always say to people that are coming in first years, this is certainly, as we noted in the video, this is not a confessional space. This is not about, in fact, it allows people that have come from confessional spaces to be thinking in very different ways about the way in which religious traditions might work. So on one hand, it might enhance how one thinks about one's own belonging. On the other hand, it allows a criticality that perhaps one hasn't been exposed to within a specific tradition. And that is always valuable, a criticality that allows one to see the same phenomenon from a number of different lenses, enables us to be thinking in more complex ways and hopefully to be thinking across diversity in ways that perhaps we haven't quite grappled with, or that we might have begun to grapple with, but is lended a little bit more perspective from these various different religions. So I invite you to be considering this. We do have, if I may say, a group of incredibly committed scholars who are, because we're a relatively small department, we actually are quite an intimately connected department, very approachable, and we have my colleagues, I am delighted to say, are a wonderful group of human beings that truly are interested in their students and welcome an engaged, robust, fun approach to the study of religion that is both serious, but also that takes human beings seriously and students seriously as human beings. So I welcome you and I invite you again to put any questions you might have in the chat. We have a few minutes more if you'd like to be raising any questions that you have. Unfortunately, there isn't a way for you to speak your questions directly. And Ala, I don't know if you would want to add anything, you're welcome to do so. Ala is an anthropologist of religion in our department, and brings some wonderful work to the department. My own work is on Islamic feminism, feminist and gender theory, to be thinking of ways in which one can critically engage with Islam and other religious traditions through gender. And Ala is, we have a number of different people in our department doing very different kinds of work that you've seen, and you can go into our website and look at it more carefully. And if Ala wants to, briefly mention the overview of the work he does, he can do so, as I wait to see if there's other people anybody on the chat that has questions.
Thank you, Prof. Well, I want to welcome everybody again, and I wish we see you in our department soon. My work focuses on the aesthetic experiences of religion and the question of ethics, and I try to understand the society through studying religion, not only to understand religion, but to understand our society and our identity and our culture. So I would also advise you to look at our reality, at our humanity, at our political context, at our social heritage through the lens of religion. We are, again, very dynamic and diverse department, and we seek and we had established working relation with many other departments locally and internationally. So it is fun. We look at art, we look at material culture, we go out with our postgraduate student to visit field work, to visit religious site, to visit Cape Town sometime. So I welcome you again in the department, and I wish to see you in our corridors and in our offices.
And just to add to that, thank you, Ala. One of the kind of important things to recognize is that when you when you approach the study of religion within our department, we look at so many different ways in which religion is thought about. So on the one hand, there is an attentiveness to history and to texts within tradition, but very vitally and importantly, we look at religion very much as a living phenomenon. And so the kind of work around everyday practices, around the lived experiences, around thinking through aesthetics, art, and architecture, a variety of other material formulations and material forms that religion takes, is something that we are attentive to. And so we think about religion in all of these very, in all of these complex ways, rather than kind of thinking about it as purely about text and history. So I think that's also a vital thing to kind of to be attentive to, and that's why the interdisciplinarity dimension of it, and the fact that the staff members bring very different kinds of disciplinary tools to their work, including anthropology, textual hermeneutics, gender and sexuality studies, politics, philosophy, and a number of other approaches, allows us to be looking at those different intersections or nexes of how religion functions in real terms. And of course, we think through all of this in quite intersectional ways, thinking about how different kinds of power relationships coming through the variety of axes of identity that human beings occupy in the social world also intersects and produce ways of understanding religion that vary, in the ways that we encounter in the contemporary world. I want to then bid you farewell. I think that we don't have any questions in our Q&A, and we have presented an overview of our department, and we welcome you to visit our website where you can get more details. As we noted, we have a first year, in our first year we offer religion, an introduction to Islam, to Judaism, Christianity and Islam, which is a first year course. We also have a first year course that we do African traditions and Asian traditions, and that kinds of gives people the grounding. In the second year, we work on more specific disciplinary approaches, like we look at the psychology of religion, the sociology of religion, religion and sexuality. In the third year, we're looking particularly at questions of media, of religion and politics. So these are the ways in which the different years are structured. And I have to, let me just also alert people that it's one of the few majors in the faculty that requires, that has a requirement of 5 courses. So rather than 6 courses. Many majors in the humanities faculty has 6 courses that you need to take. With religion, you can pick up 1 first-year course and not necessarily the 2 that's required. So even if you decide in your first semester not to take a religion course and only do so in the second semester, you can still continue with often people see it also as a 3rd major because they can, they can kind of take a course less and decide that and often people come into the department not thinking about religion as the major, but having done 1 course are then so enamored and interested that they decide to create a 3rd major and decide to do so. And of course, we'd be even more delighted if you come in for religion as your first major. So thank you very much. Thank you for your time and thank you for attending our session. And we're looking forward to meeting you, and please feel free to pop me or Ala and email. All of our details are available on our departmental website. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you, Prof.
Good day.